I started shooting a longbow about 15 years ago and had a lot of pleasure with that until fatherhood put an end to those kind of things. It's still up on the wall. And I also like reading history books, and the two had to combine at some point in this song. So I'll give you the outline of, in case you don't know, in the year 1415, a young King Henry V took a small army, composed mostly of archers, to Normandy to stake his claim to be the King of Normandy. And he landed at Harfleur and took Harfleur, and then he marched through Normandy aiming for Calais, which was English at the time, hoping really to avoid contact with the assembling French forces, but in fact they cut him off, and an army 3 or 4 times his size barred his path at Agincourt, and he was compelled to fight. And although the French were very heavily armed and outnumbered the English, they had terrible generals, and Henry was a very good general. So by superior tactics and courage and correct use of the longbow, they defeated the French. And it was a great point in the English consciousness, really, in a defining moment in English consciousness. And during the Second World War, Churchill asked Laurence Olivier to make a film of Agincourt, which he did, to encourage us in our darkest hour. So it's always been this great symbol of the English army, really. But Henry was also not insensitive to the propaganda value of this. And on his way back to London, he paused at Canterbury for a month to pray. Meanwhile, the victory celebrations were underway. The preparations for the victory celebration were underway in London, which included building giant wooden statues of David and Goliath on London Bridge. And when the victory parade came in, they lined the streets with young girls dressed in white who threw leaves, symbolizing victory. And when he entered the city, the merchants came out and gave him 2 gold bowls full of gold coins, because there was no tax in those days either. And I tried to imagine this through the eyes of an ordinary archer. And the title, The Grey Goose Wing, refers to the fletching of the war arrows. They used the flight feathers from the grey goose. And in fact, the leader of the Archer Corps was Sir Thomas Erpingham. And I believe that's a village in Norfolk somewhere, just north of here. Yeah. Is it? Okay. That's a bit of local. Next stroke, Sir Thomas cried, and threw his baton high. We drew our bows and loosed a cloud that stained the autumn sky. We had no chance to fight that day, outnumbered 3 to 1. We'd marched too far into their lands and couldn't run. We put our trust in shaft of ash, fledged with the grey goose wing. We formed a line and turned to face whatever fate could fling. They bowed their heads, they cursed and prayed as the cloud of goose wings flew. The maddened host attacked us then, just as we wished them to. Next day the field was black with crows that fed on dead men's eyes. No Christian could see such sights and not be moved to cry. And now we're back on London Bridge and all the choirs sing. We throw our bonnets in the air and say, it's all for the whistling of the grey goose wing. 1,000 maidens dressed in white through the leaves of laurel green. They praise us, not for bringing peace, but bringing victory. These people love a foreign war that's far away from home, till they get sick of losing sons and hope that one day peace will come. When good King Henry came to town, he rode a small grey mare, so humbly to compare himself to our sweet Saviour. And through the crowds he bowed his head in all humility, but he took the credit anyway for our great victory. And when we got to London Wall and heard the tumult roar, by God they made more noise than all the horse on that field of Agincourt. I'll see you in the bag and hails, and in our cart we'll tell our tales to every wide-eyed barfly in the room. We'll give them what they want to hear, as long as they bring wine and beer. We'll tell them why the bells of London ring, so all for the whistling of the great Goose wing. And they threw laurel leaves, green laurel leaves, meant for peace but for victory. The laurel leaves, sweet laurel leaves, sweet victory.